What's going on, guys? Bonafide Hustler here, coming to you live from the inside of my office. And today we're going to be talking about best way to sell on eBay and make some money online. So basically, I'm the Bonafide Hustler, and on a part-time basis, I am buying and reselling typically used goods that I find at garage sales and thrift stores. And I'm putting this stuff on eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and other consignment stores in town. Ooh, I got an echo here. That's not good. Hold on real quick. There we go. Okay. So anyways, so yeah, that's what I do. And today there's a live show. If you're lucky enough to catch a live show, I try not to do too many in a week, maybe two, But in this live show, it's more or less going to be talking about, kind of my business strategy going forward for this year regarding eBay. Now, here's the thing. I attack eBay on a part-time basis. All right. So I'm looking to never exceed 16 hours a week on my eBay project, making full-time eBay money. And my goal in 2018 is to clear $3,000 to $5,000 every single month take home. So that is basically the quest. Some of the months, I think in April, I got really close to that. In fact, I think I got there at the 3,000 mark. May, a little bit different. I had a launch of a bag guide and a couple other things. So, yeah, I think March was my good month. Maybe April was the month that was a little under because I had a bag guide launch and I was working really hard on that. And then May, I'm really trying hard to kind of rescue May and really try hard to get these sales in. So we're halfway through the month, and you always have to have little check-in periods like how are you doing? And I think the halfway mark's one of those. Either you're doing pretty decent or you're not doing well at all. So anyways, please subscribe to my channel and join my eBay journey. But just remember, if you're looking for someone that's doing eBay full-time and going crazy with 50 hours a week, this is not the channel for that. I like eBay as a means to an end. And the second it becomes not fun for me, I'm definitely off the project. I just can't handle it, right? But it has to be fun. And so I really do like thrifting, and I love going to garage sales and estate sales and yard sales. Not so much estate sales, but yard sales and garage sales. And I think a lot of you guys out there, doesn't matter where you are in America, you got garage sales around you. It's the perfect time of the year, and you definitely got thrift stores, nearby as well. You got to visit those things, and you'd be so surprised what you can find in some of those places and the money you can get for some of those goods. So case in point, this morning, I $15 pair of shoes this morning sold for $120. Like, that's crazy, right? $10 pair of shoes today, sold for $60. Just random, just some random stuff, but that's just one of the things that I dealt with today. And I think it's fun once it's like that and it's less than 16 hours a week or max 16 hours a week. I'm having fun, and so I just hope to really kind of take you guys on the journey with me, so that maybe you guys want to do the same thing and maybe take the other hours that you would have spent, focus on your family, maybe a vacation or something, or working on some other business, right? So it's good to see everyone here. I'm gonna shout out a couple people. More importantly, I want to shout out Matt Jackson, who even before the thing started, he super chatted me $2, which all my super chats right now are going to my surfboard fund. I call it surfboard fund, but that's basically what it is. In July or August, I'm going to be in California. I'm going to get a surfboard, and it's going to be from super chat money, as well as local Craigslist hustles that I do. I take about 30% of all my local Craigslist hustles, and I put it into a little box, which is right there. So there's definitely enough for a surfboard in there right now. Well, it's just a matter of how much is there now. Is the real question, but I'll be looking to that in July. There's no reason to look into it now because it's fun not to know really how much is in there. So hello to Nevermore Antiques, Jennifer Howe, Caston, Virginia, AZ Mick, Justin Packman, Matt Jackson himself, Alexander, Cheryl, customer service, Anthony Morales. So it's good to see you guys, and what's up, Gina? So, and Larry's Dusty Attic. So let me go into my kind of 5 tips, but I actually included another one. And the last tip you're going to help me out with a little bit. So that'll be the very last tip, but 5 tips. And then the 6th one, you and I are going to kind of discuss the pros and cons. I definitely think there's a little bit more cons to the 6th tip, but maybe you guys can shed some light for me. And shout out to Nevermore Antiques for a $2 super chat that came in for the surfboard fund. Thank you so much, Nevermore Antiques. I love that. Okay, so let's get to the very first tip, which is, before we get into this tip, I think it's important that when you are listing an item or when you're thinking about eBay, that you start asking yourself, what do I want to make per day take home from eBay? If I could have a perfect eBay business, like what would I like to take home? And outside of like the whole numbers and everything of how many listings you have to make and whatever, think about a dollar amount that you're like, wow, that would be really cool if I took home X a day. All right. So my X a day right now is about 100 minimum. Like that's really what I want to hit minimum. Like worst case scenario, $100. I think that would be fun to, chase after. And if everything goes right after a month, I'd be at 3 grand, right? But of course, some of those days are a little bit higher than others. And sometimes you sell some crazy things for a little bit more than what you thought you would sell them for, or you get max price of what you thought you were going to sell it for, without putting it on sale very much or discounting it heavily. You sell some things that are just kind of out of the norm. But you got to ask yourself, what's the dollar amount per day that you would love to have, right? Get some energy behind it. Start thinking about it, going, it could be as simple as $20, $30, right? You make $20 a day, that's $600 a month. You know that the average car payment in America is probably around $550. So if you make an extra $20 a day on eBay, for example, you're just trying to make your car payment. For example, if you have a car payment, I don't know what the average mortgage is, but you can start to make it fun in a certain way by relating something that's very personable to you that maybe you want to achieve or maybe overpay, and bring it home and start dicing it up in a 30-day kind of thing, going, okay, it'd be really cool if I started saving up for this $4,000 vacation over the next 4 or 5 months, right? And so you can kind of think, okay, that's $1,000 a month divided by 30 days. And you can kind of do the math and start to realize, what's attainable, right? What can I do to get that daily number? I like daily numbers because if you need to fix something, you can kind of fix it quickly as opposed to a monthly number or a weekly number. Let's say 7 days go by and you're not at your plan. You've already wasted 6 days, or 7 days basically wasted. Like, I like to know by the day, like, am I on point? It kind of makes me work really hard at getting my stuff up, my listings up. So think about what that number is, okay? And I like to have, this is what I'm going to do, but I like to list about 5 items a day if I can, like 5 high quality listings a day, not junky stuff, but high quality listings, with the assumption that if 2 out of the 5 sell, all right, then those 2 would be my number, okay? So it could be a combination of one item selling for me, like one item selling for $60, making me 60 in profit, in pure profit, and then the other one maybe making 40, right? Combined $100. It could be 2 items, right? Selling for $50 pure profit each, $100. Hell, it could be 1 item selling a day at $100 pure profit. But either way, if you're doing 5, if you're over listing high quality items that are well within your parameters of ROI, then it covers you for like really crazy spikes in business, such as there's some crazy weekends sometimes that just come out of nowhere, and I'll sell 10 to 15 things. And you might be thinking, wow, I sell 10 to 15 things all day long. I sell 40 things in a weekend. That's great. My ASP also is somewhere around like the 72, 73 range, right? Average selling price of an item. So you got to always think about your ASP versus what you're trying to take home, versus what your goal is and all that kind of stuff. Because I try to do less volume and less work with the same amount of money. That's basically what I'm doing. And I'm also 16 hours a week, no more than that. So I'm just trying to find the best loophole to achieve that while working hard, because loophole kind of implies like being lazy. But I think if you do it right, I think the loophole does exist. Hell, I've been able to do it once already this year. 1 month out of this year, I've made that goal. And so it definitely exists. It's a matter of making sure you understand what worked and what didn't work, and definitely doing more of what worked. So I knew that some of the things that did work, we're going to be talking about on this show. And one of those things was to list 5 high quality listings every single day. And trust me, I have like 15 or 20 things that I could list right now, but I'm not going to put 20 listings up today, because that means tomorrow I won't have anything to put up unless I go thrifting. So I'm going to probably do 5 today, 5 tomorrow. If I thrift tomorrow, maybe I'll get 5 items or something like that. Okay, maybe I can do a day of 6 listings, but I kind of want to budget it because I know I want eBay to see that I'm in there constantly. Okay, very, very important. Okay. So yeah, 5 high quality listings a day with the equation that if 2 sell, you would make your number. Very, very important. And then the other three listings are just bonus items. So if you sell them, not only do you get your ROI, but it's just bonus listings in case there's a big sales pop or something like that. Or maybe one day you go from a 10% sale all the way to a 30% sale, right? Sometimes you have to do those kind of things to purge inventory. And those definitely speed up the rate of inventory leaving your store. So, what else here? So yeah, overlisting is kind of implied in that 5 listings a day. Now, this is just to me, because remember, I don't want to get any more than 200 listings in my store at any given time. I think as of today, I might be at 151 or something like that. So after tonight, I should be at 156. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. I'm not really thinking I got to get to 500 listings to make all this money. Like I got to get to 1,000 listings to make all that, you know. At that point, the inventory becomes an issue. It starts bleeding into other parts of my life, most notably maybe my garage, because as you grow in inventory, that inventory has to go somewhere too. This is not like FBA, guys, or Amazon where you get to ship it off and it goes to some warehouse. This stuff you have to physically house close to you. So if you have an apartment, it's kind of, you know, you kind of want to be towards that lower end of the inventory spectrum. If you have a warehouse, I mean, that's great. But even then, I mean, not many people really love to just be at a warehouse all day long, right? That's just not most people's idea of a job. But then again, if you're working for yourself, maybe that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about tip number 2. If you're enjoying this, it's really important to hit the like button. I didn't go thrifting today because I had to work on some other things. I wanted to go thrifting today, but I do have some good inventory here that I want to get listed. And I was definitely working on some other things for my other channel, which a lot of you guys already know about. So I will go thrifting tomorrow and I will vlog the entire thing. So don't worry about that. Okay, so number 2, and you hear this from a lot of YouTubers, all right? Before I get to number 2, let me give a shout out to Melissa Francis, who's donating $5 to the surfboard fund. And there's a little note to this $5 super chat right here. It says, "Thank you bunches for all that you do for us and your motivation to get fit. I'm down 20 pounds and I'm loving life." So there you go. Hey, I'm so happy for you, Melissa Francis. Don't know how you lost the 20 pounds, but just make sure it's sustainable and keep going at it until you get to that desired weight that you want to be. But that's really good. 20 pounds in any respect is a lot of weight. For someone like me, that's the difference between looking like me and looking like really, really, really thin. But 20 pounds to someone that might be 200 pounds or 300 pounds, that's a huge, huge stepping stone to just knowing that you can do those kind of things, right? So that's all. Say congrats to Melissa, because losing weight in today's world is getting harder and harder. So I'm glad that you're doing the right thing. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about number 2, because you hear a lot of YouTubers say this. And let me kind of define why I think it's really important. But number 2 is always have sales. Okay, really, really important. I don't go a day without having a sale in my store for the most part. Okay, so let me kind of tell you how I do my sales, and then you can tell me how maybe you do your sales. But I make sure all my stuff is on sale. So that's the most important thing. It's through the promotions tab on eBay. If you have a store, I don't know what the eBay seller dashboard even looks like if you don't have a store, because I've had a store forever. So I can't pretend like I know what it looks like if you're a complete beginner and you're on eBay but you have no store. So I don't know. But we definitely, yeah, you want to make sure to always have the sales, and you want to rotate the amount up and down a couple times. So like my lowest sale will be about 20%. My highest sale will typically be about 30%. And I have those numbers in mind when I'm generating the prices for my listings when I first put them up. So let's say I think a shoe is going to, you know, a $10 shoe. I'm like, oh, I got into it because I know, worst case scenario, 65, 70 bucks, and thus yielding my $50 profit. But I'll put it on, you know, I'll put it up on eBay for $109.99 or $119.99, because if it's on a 30% off sale and it's at $119.99, that means it's going to be about $89.99 when it's on sale at a 30% off sale, for example. So it gives you a chance to maybe sell the shoe around 90, and then it gives you maybe another chance when you relist to maybe sell the shoe around 80. All right, so that's what's going on in my head. I don't want to keep inventory for a very, very long time, but I think if you flip something between a month or 2, that's pretty damn good for eBay, honestly. So don't get me wrong, I love a week flip or 2 weeks, but I think realistically, most people that thrift or go to garage sales and deal with eBay, you're probably in that 1 to 2 month range on average. Okay, so if you're doing it right, if you're not doing it right and you got your inventory or your old inventory in there, it's time to start sourcing smarter, honestly. So yeah, make sure all your stuff is on sale. Relisting doesn't guarantee that your stuff is on sale. I don't know if you knew that, or maybe it is messed up on my side, but when I relist items, I have to manually bring them into my sale again. And the way you do that is you go into your sale. You have to edit your sale. So you go into your promotions tab, you see your active sale going on, you press the edit key, all right? And then from there, I think the first screen shows add items, like mid-screen. It'll have a little blue thing. It says add items. And then you press that, you check mark all the items that are not on sale that you need to bring into your sale. And then you go relaunch or launch or whatever that bottom right blue key is. But yeah, I have to manually bring my stuff back into the sale. Not a huge pain in the butt, but you know, something that I have to mess with. It's not a huge deal to me. So I usually, when I put a sale on eBay, I usually do a 1 month duration, but I also delete my sale after about 2 weeks. Just on my side of the stuff, some of the stuff is kind of glitchy, honestly. So I might think things are on sale, and I've checked marked these things off. And help me out here if this helps, if this happens to you. But you'll check back maybe a couple of days later, and you know you've checked the items to get on the sale, and some items are just not on sale. It doesn't make any sense to me. Don't understand why. So at that time, and that almost occurs twice a month, I'll start to see that. So that's when I delete my sale completely, and I restart a whole nother sale. So anyways, let me give a shout out to Stephen Fielder, who super chatted me $25 for the surfboard fund money. Man, we're getting some super chats in here today. Thank you, Stephen Fielder. I really do appreciate that. I hope my videos help you out, and hope they help out all the people that super chatted me, including the people that are just chilling in the feed right now that are watching. So I really do appreciate it. So tip number 3 is, I like to think about it this way. But when you're taking pics for eBay, everyone's like, okay, 12 pics. He's going to say 12 pics, and he's going to say non-distracting background, which I'm a firm believer. Like, look, you don't have to have the latest and greatest like photo studio white background, whatever. As long as your background is non-distracting, I think you're okay. The item is going to trump everything. Okay, you can have a crappy item with semi-crappy pics, 12 semi-crappy pics, but if it's the right item and you described it pretty well, that's going to trump any other common item on eBay. So if you have a good item with a good market, but is not a super common item, okay, then that typically is what eBay really was generated for. It's for that kind of stuff. But you see a lot of people putting crazy stuff on eBay, trinkets and freaking Marona shirts from Target and Great Land, this and that, stuff that does not belong on eBay. It's junk. It's complete junk. It doesn't belong there, but people are sitting there with thousands and thousands of items in their store going, why is my sell-through rate so crappy? I feel like I'm working my butt off, but I'm not making the money I want to make. So stop hustling common items. Start, putting on eBay the right kind of items, the stuff that eBay was really designed for. And so here we're going to talk about the pictures real quick. And yes, you have to have 12 pictures. And yes, you have to have non-distracting backgrounds. And a non-distracting background is as simple as whatever that you are focusing on is in the foreground, and the background needs to be pretty much blurry, okay? There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, if you do not have a white lit box that has, lit from this side, lit from that side, lit from the top, whatever, take some space up too, which is, and not every item can fit in those things too. Sometimes if you get a big item like a Wig Board or something big that you need to put on eBay, it's not going to fit in that box. So you still have to take it out and shoot it normally. So I just shoot everything normally, honestly, because I don't want eBay infecting my life completely. I just like it to be a piece of my life, and I want it to be a means to an end. But I don't want it to be everywhere I look in my garage like I see eBay stuff. That's the reason why I have curtains in my garage that hide the inventory. It's the reason why when I'm done taking my pictures, I take the shelves off my squat rack and I put it back on the side of the house, on the side of the garage. And if you went into my garage and the curtains were closed, you would never know there's an eBay business there. If you came into my office, you'd be like, oh, there's some goods on the floor, but that's the stuff that's going to my FBA stuff. Very few times you'd come in here and go, that guy might be a reseller. You would never think that. So anyways, oh yeah, and there's stuff hanging on a hanging rack here because I just don't like drawing a lot of my clothes, because you just never know what you're gonna get, right? You might get something super Gymboree and super small, or you might end up with something that's Gandalf wizard-like. You just never know. But I have some decent clothes and I do not want to destroy them, so that's why I hang dry them. But outside of that, I don't think you would know that I'm a reseller. So that's good. I like that. And it definitely means that eBay is a means to an end. So think about that from another person's point of view. Like if they were to come into your house, would it be, amazing and tidy and affecting with eBay inventory everywhere? And if it was, where is it? And can you cover it and get it out of your life? Because it's really important to disconnect from the business that you're working on. Really important to focus on your family when it's needed. Really important to focus on your fitness and to not be always haunted about death piles or eBay stuff. And that's the reason why I don't have a big, crazy white background thing to take my pictures. Those things are too big. I don't want it. So let's talk about the pictures, because the pictures are important, because most people think the descriptions where you put everything about the item. In fact, it's completely untrue. I think the pictures win the day every single time. They don't have to be the best and sharpest, but they have to hit the angles that have the imperfections, okay? And that's right, I did say imperfections because nearly everything used that you sell on eBay, okay, nearly, let's say 80% of, okay, the stuff that I find good stuff in this town. I'll go as far as saying maybe 60 or 70% of the stuff that's used that I put on eBay, all right, will have a scuff, a scratch, some sort of discoloration, but there's still really good items that when people see it, they're like, I don't care, but I'm glad I saw it in the picture, you know? So you describe through the pics. Hear me here, okay? Describe through your pics. That means take really, really good pictures, okay? And then your description is just for nitty gritty stuff, okay? That's just to reiterate it if you have to. But if you have to put a finger in the pic showing a dent or showing a scuff or showing something like that, do it. It's okay if your finger's in there. Trust me, it's okay. So anyways, yeah, describe through your pics, then follow up with description. Pics win, the description is just a bonus at this point. And I shoot with a 16 megapixel camera with a pretty decent sensor, but it's not like some crazy T3, T4, T6i or anything like that. You don't need an expensive camera to mess with eBay. That said, I always urge people to take their eBay pics with a camera, like an actual point and shoot, even if it's as simple as like this, okay? Because I don't like my inventory or my business to coincide with my cell phone, which is, you know, pics of my dogs and cool stuff and lake activities and mountain biking and my wife and family. And I don't want my eBay pics in there, right? So there's an option, I understand, that you can shoot pics and then you can have them not stored to your phone or something like that. I just don't want them anywhere close to my phone, right? I want the pictures in their own SD card. For me, being a content creator, it makes it easier. When I create guides and stuff like that, I have it all on SD cards, all on hard drives. But most importantly, it doesn't affect my life in any way. So if I go scrolling through pictures and I'm like, hey, dude, like, good to see you, man. Let me show you this picture with stuff we did last weekend. I have to like scroll through 5 billion eBay things just to show this dude, my friend, what we did last weekend. I don't want that. So anyways, now maybe I'm being real weird about that and that's okay. But no one, I haven't met a single person out there that has been like, hey, Chris, eBay overflows my house and my life is so amazing and my wife and our marriage is so much better and I have way more friends than I can handle. But if you come in my house, you probably have to like navigate through a maze or a gauntlet of eBay inventory. Like no one has ever told me that. And I have met up with a lot of people out there. I have hosted meetups, 5 green room meetups here in town. I've gone to other satellite meetups. Not a single person has been like, yeah, putting eBay inventory all over your house and this and that wins the day. Like, never heard it once. So what I have heard people say is I want to do eBay smarter. I want to work less. I want to, you know, attack my death piles. I need my inventory. You know, I need an inventory solution. I just can't do this anymore. I'm discouraged. So that's the reason why this video is here. That's the reason why these tips are out, because I want to make sure that you guys benefit from it somehow. Okay, so let me talk about this one right here, number 4, which is staying on top of relisting frequently, because this is something I definitely have to work on. And it usually, if relisting occurs on the weekend for some reason, I just don't get to it. It's just the weekend. When the weekend comes, I turn my eBay stuff off. I don't turn it off, but like I don't upload any. Unless it's a rainy Sunday or a rainy Saturday, like I might do some listings, but for the most part, when the weekend comes, I'm sorry, I treat it just like I do when I was in corporate America. Like I don't work. So I say that, but I do go garage selling, but that's fun. That's with my brother, that's family. I mean, that's just fun, period. Garage selling to a professional thrifter doesn't even feel like work, honestly. So number 4, relist frequently. Very, very important. Stay on top of it as much as you can. This is something that I've been trying to do every time I relist, is consider taking some money off, even if it's as simple as $1 or $3 or sometimes 10. I take some money off my listings right then and there. I want to start churning and burning through inventory. I don't need to be the top sold you know, when you look at used status, like, oh my God, like that's my listing, that's my listing, that's my listing. You know, I beat all the keywords, great. That's a fun feeling to have. But if you try to always be the top listing when it comes to sold used items, I mean, my inventory will start piling up. So I have to cut deals and I have to, you know, churn and burn, because that's the name of the game. But not to the point where you are undercutting yourself and undercutting all the infrastructure and all the work that you've done. But definitely, you know, wheel and deal. I think you have to do that. It's your business. You can do those kind of things. And it doesn't take anything crazy to do that. It just takes something as simple as relisting, right? You can wheel and deal through relisting. You can take $3 off, $5 off, $10 off, and you'd be surprised when it comes time to bringing that back into a sale, you know, what it looks like. I've heard that if you take a small amount off, some people do pennies, some people do 25 cents, that it actually benefits you in search, but I could be wrong. Anyways, cool. A lot of people are like talking in this video. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, be sure to delete anything that you have. Okay, so here's something that's, because I have a tendency to cross list 25, maybe 30% of all my eBay listings. I try to cross list it to Craigslist, okay? So that said, when I relist, and if I forgot to take it off eBay, that becomes an issue. So you have to be very careful doing that kind of stuff. So when you delete an item off of eBay, you can push like end item, right? Okay, so you want to end the listing, you end the item, and ask you like, why do you want to end the item? You know, it's broken, not working, it's not available for sale anymore, whatever. You click one of those things, press submit. That's not it, because it's going to sit there in your unsold feed until you manually delete it out, which is crazy. So you have to make sure, if you sell something locally that is cross-listed on eBay, that you manually delete it as well. Because when it comes to relisting, and if you have, like me, 150 items in there, it's not uncommon to do relists of 50, 40, 70 items at a time. And I can't just be sitting there looking through all 70 items going, okay, which one, like, you know, so you have to be very, very careful that when you sell something locally, that you take it off completely and manually delete it. Some people here, Nevermore Antiques, I'm at 1,100, and that is too much. So here's one thing, you know, if I had 1,100 items, and I'm a big fan of pre-boxing my items. That means getting the stuff boxed out. I never have to look at it again until the day of sale. If I had 1,100 boxes in my garage and 1,100 poly bags or whatever, or combination of both, I'd probably go crazy. That's just me. I don't have enough room in my house to support 1,100 items. Already at 150, I have half of a whole garage wall of boxes, pretty much. So that's already kind of enough for me, and it makes it still really fun. Any more than that, and I think I would have to go over 16 hours a week, which is not part of the game to me. So anyways, Fireside One says the Road to 200 concept, which is a concept that I came up with alongside College Picker, who's in the green room with me. Says Road to 200 makes managing your eBay store easier. I'm at 248 items. I'm getting down to 200 soon. So that's awesome, Fireside. Thank you so much. I'm not saying, guys, you have to do it. I'm just saying take your number down to a level that you really care about. And maybe look at that 16-hour-a-week thing, right? I do hot shots, which means I do very well calculated thrift runs that have 4 to 5 thrift stores done in a 2-hour kind of period. I go in a thrift store, I look for exactly what I know of, and then I go out. And that's basically it. I do that 4 thrift stores or 5 thrift stores in 2 hours. Doesn't matter what I find or what I don't find. It's just showing up, high energy, just being committed to, you know, the little hustling cause. And I do that for about 3 to 4 times a week. So 3 times 2 or 4 times 2, that's 8 hours. Let's say at the highest, let's just round it up to 10 with some on-the-spot research or whatever, maybe 9. And then I come home, I still have to prep it, take pictures and everything like that. So, you know, 9 or 10 hours with an extra 3 of pictures and listing and everything like that. We're getting close to that 15, 16 hours. So that's kind of how my stuff kind of plays out. And I've gotten so much better at it, man. I got to tell you, I could show you, there's a picture on my desktop that I'll probably put in one of my videos to kind of drive the point home why Road to 200 really works for me. And it's a picture of me with my other spaceship, a Toyota Prius. And the hatch is open of the Prius, and it's just like packages all up inside. One level only. It's not like packages on packages on packages, but one level of packages like all the way through the entire car. And that was when I was only reselling items to where I could make $20 pure profit as a minimum. And it's like, wow, unbelievable. Like today, 1 hour before this show, I took 4 packages to Mike the postman, who was right down my street. 4 packages that were just nice and tight and concise. And if you were to put those 4 packages in the car, it would look like not the greatest thing. You sit there and go, that's not the greatest thing ever. But the amount of time it took to do those 4 packages was nothing compared to the time to sticker up all those other ones that were in the car in this previous picture that was probably shot 3 or 4 years ago. So it just goes to show you I'm working definitely smarter, and the road to 200 thing is 100% working in my favor, because in order to fill up the Prius with $20 packages or $20 minimums, I was hustling 3 or 4 times a week at 4 hours a piece or something like that. It was something just so not that fun. But it was fun at the time because I knew that I was able to find these things. But then eventually I started thinking, man, I can find this stuff a lot. Like, why not just go to $30 level profits and 40 and then 50? So like right now I'm at 50, and I think it's a good thing to do. So who else is in the feed here? Just want to say hi to what's up to 127 people. Do me a favor. There's 2 favors I want you to do. We have assignments when you watch my videos, okay, on YouTube. They might be a hot shot, it might be a Hustler Life episode, or it might be something as simple as a live show like this. And on Fridays, I'm going to be doing lifestyle shows, which are cool. But I ask of you a couple things. So here's the assignment right now. 1 is to hit the like button. It's really, really important. But number 2 is kind of interesting, because number 2 guarantees that you see these videos. And that is you have to hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and it'll get you basically first in line notifications when my videos pop up. So it's really, really important. Really important when I come out with really good content. Even more important when there is a deal of some sort. And yeah, so you never know. I might have a flash deal. I don't ever like to discount my products, such as the bag guide or the Bikes to Bucks guide or whatever. But this year you're going to see some discounts. Not a whole lot. Very, very, very few. And they're probably going to be very tight as well. They're going to be super, super fast ones. So you're definitely going to want to be, on top of it when it comes to when I air that video. So hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and it's also on your cell phone. Okay, number 5. Number 5, this peace sign. Forget it. Number 5. Get back to everyone super fast. I talked about this in another video in my vlogs about a week ago. I was outside of the gym. Like, you really have to get back to people really, really fast, because they're likely still in front of their laptop at that time when they give you an offer or a question or a message or something like that. Now, I'm not saying get back to every message that comes your way, because I certainly do not do that. I definitely don't go back. There's so many stupid questions on eBay. It's like the people on eBay that ask you questions completely assume that you are the person that used that item. Drives me crazy to no end, right? I sell women's shoes. I sell men's shoes. And of those shoes, okay, so like if there's 100% of shoes, I would say 98% of those shoes will not be size 12, which happen to be my size. So 98% of the questions I have to deal with sizing, I cannot get back to. There's just no way, because they're so stupid. Like, how many miles are running these shoes? What edition are these shoes? How many, about approximately how many miles have you walked in these shoes? Do they fit true to size? What does a D versus an M, mean on, I'm like, what? Seriously? Why do people assume that the thing on eBay is only worn or used by the person that has it on the eBay store? I don't get it. I do not get it. So, yes, get back to everyone super fast. So you say you wake up this morning. I woke up and I had, God, this is the craziest part. I woke up at 5:20 this morning. At 5:25 in the morning, I had an offer come through for a pair of shoes that were in my store for $150. And someone was like, hey, would you do $120 and ship it to me today? Not today, like 2-day shipping. And I said, because I have a tendency to ship all my items priority or sooner, but I don't disclose that on my eBay listings because I don't want to be held to that. But that's my tendency, is to over deliver by shipping things off really fast. And if you look at my feedback on my store, a lot of the feedback deals with, damn, this thing came really fast. I was not expecting that. So of course it's like, it's just incentive for them to put a really positive review. That's not the real reason I do it. That's just a bonus for what I do. But over delivering is kind of fun because I don't want to be tied to eBay. Just like I said before, this is not something I want to be doing and bothered by every single day. So I get back to everyone super fast because in the case of this morning, when the guy sent me an offer for that shoe, I stopped everything. I think I might have even been brushing my teeth. I put my toothbrush down. I immediately sent back a $119.99 offer. Okay, so he was offering me $120 plus I'll pay for extra shipping to get it to me in 2 days. And I said, this is the best I can do. $119.99 and I will ship it priority. That way I don't have to like make any expedited shipping or send some guy some random like eBay or some PayPal bill, like give me some, more money for shipping. What, I don't care about that. I'm just going to ship it the way I wanted to ship it in the first place. And that's it. I want to hand it off to Mike the postman. Like, it's all I want to do. I don't want to, go back and forth with someone's PayPal address and bill someone. Forget it, because I was going to ship it off priority anyway. And by the way, it went to somewhere in Louisiana, which is like the state right next to me. So it'll probably get there in 2 days regardless. But I got back to him super fast, and 5 minutes after that, the shoes were bought. So, and paid for too, which is cool. So that was one thing that happened today. The other thing that happened today, and these were both on mobile phone, by the way. So I was handling both on mobile. The other one was, as I came up to the coffee shop this morning to do some studying, I got another, it's an inquiry. It was an inquiry about some mountain biking shoes, and a guy was like, "Hey, can you sell these to me for 50 right now?" I think they were at 80, and I was like, "The best I can do is this," and I put $64.99 shipped to Utah. And the guy was like, "I'll meet you here," and he put a 59. He's like, "If you send me a $59.99 offer, I'll do it." So I sent him a $59.99 offer, shipped to Utah, $10 shoes, sold for $60. I'm good with that because I want to start churning and burning some things. So anyways, all that stuff was because I was right in front of the phone at that given time. And that dude, whoever's messaging me on both accounts, was probably right there next to their phone, not even expecting that I was going to get back to them so soon. So that's good, because that's still in their thoughts, before the day started for the most part. It's still in their thoughts. Once the day starts for most people, it gets kind of chaotic, and to add to that fact, when I have Craigslist deals during the day, it's just like, man, people are so scatterbrained the second the day starts. But if you can get them before that, then I think that is totally a good thing to do. So yeah, get them before, get them as soon as you can after they, hit you up, because it's still really fresh in their head what they've done, whether it be an offer or an inquiry or something. But the more time that you let go by, they might have bought something on Amazon Prime, instead, because they didn't want to wait. We live in a time of now, right? Everyone is conditioned for now. You want to watch Westworld? Guess what? HBO, you can watch it right now on demand. You want, if you want freaking paper towels, you can get next day paper towels from Amazon Prime, like literally. If you want bubble wrap, you're like, oh my God, like I have to go get bubble wrap. That means I have to go to Costco and all this stuff. You can get bubble wrap like basically 1 or 2 day from Amazon Prime to your house. So we're very conditioned in a now society. It kind of sucks, but that's another reason why I like to ship off some of my stuff really quickly as well, because it kind of blows their mind, because they were expecting 7 or 10 day, shipping lag, and it gets there within 2 or 3. So it still aligns with that strategy. Okay, I'm going to do a couple minutes of Q&A after this 6th tip. Okay, what's up, Break and Profit? Good to see you, man. So the last one is, and I'm still on the fence about this, and I'll tell you why I'm on the fence about it, and I want all your input right now, okay? So really, really important, if there's any time that you talk on my videos, this is gonna be one of those times that you're gonna wanna type in your kind of response but you have to kind of see it from my point of view, okay? So the question is, do I do best offer or not? And remember, this is tips on eBay on best way to sell on eBay and make money online. Best offer or not. I've done both ways before, but the last time I did best offer on all my stuff was probably 3 or 4 years ago. So that's been a while. Now, here's the reason why I don't do it now, but I'm considering doing it now. I don't like headaches. You know that about me, right? I don't like going through hoops or things like that. I don't like being in control either. If I'm not in control of something, That's not good. So the reason why I don't like to do best offer now is because, like I said, 30% of my things are listed locally, which was not hard to do. It's just a copy and paste of a title, copy and paste of the description, the same 12 pictures you put on eBay, you can put anywhere else. So if you launch, I'm trying to think how this works, but from what I remember, when you put a best offer out there, it's good until the person can yes or no it, correct? Like you cannot theoretically end the item. I don't think you can end the item if an offer comes through. There's one way that you cannot mess with the item. I think it's maybe when you send the offer out or something like that. You cannot physically delete it or something. I know that that exists. I forget which way it happens, but basically on the items that I double list, let's say someone best offers me something and then all of a sudden it's like I sell it in town. It's really easy to sell, boom, 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 make that quick money. But then that offer is still dangling out there right on eBay that I shot out, that I maybe let to another person. I think that's how it kind of works out. Let me know. I can't remember which direction it goes, but there's one where it kind of seizes the item up until the person responds, basically. So there you go. So Joe Molina says that if there's an offer, you cannot edit the item, right? You can end it, but you can't change. You can do, okay, so you can't remove the best offer after you've had an offer, This is really weird. This is where people get very confused right here. And this is the main reason why I haven't done it. But I've thought about it, okay? I've thought about it. Yeah, you can end it, but you cannot change it. So that's interesting. So I could still end it. That's all I care about, because if I can end it, that's very important to me. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you can, if there's an offer you cannot edit the item, is what Joe Molina says, but then someone else says you can end the item, but you can't change the item. It's just something. So this is one of the best parts about being a YouTube creator, I guess, is I don't know everything, right? I'll totally admit it when I don't know everything, but this is one of the things where I'm like, I kind of want to go back into it, mess with it, but I don't know the real answer behind it. That's why tip number 6 is best offer or not. And this one's up in the air for me, honestly. So Make Your Life Better says, it seems like you either need free shipping and not best offer, or best offer and charge shipping, because people do not take into account that you have to pay to ship it. I have free shipping on all my stuff, by the way. Here it is. Cindy Rosen says, you can remove the item if there are no current offers. I've heard so many different things from different people. That's why it kind of scares me. So anyway, Hector Munoz, but you do know everything. I don't know everything. So yeah, what's the consensus? If you send out a couple offers, let's say an offer comes through on an item, can you end that item? What if you send out an offer to an item, but then someone on Craigslist wants to pick up that item? Can you sell it? You can obviously sell it to the person on Craigslist in any respect possible. The question is, can you end that item on eBay once you've sent an offer off? Or is it lock that item up? So very, very important. Always wanted to know the answer to that one. Yeah, that's the part that really scares me, because the best part about having double listings or double avenue listings is control, right? It's to be able to move the item quicker. So Night Required says, hey, Bonafide, you can end your items whenever you want, 100%. Cool. Okay, so maybe that's the real thing. All right, let's get a couple Q&As done, and I'll open it for some Q&As, and then I'll be out of here because I think I want to go ride my mountain bike. So yeah, let me know. Okay. Here we go. Clarence Ninja says, yes, you can end your item as it's no longer for sale with an active offer. So it's so weird. I think once you send an offer, you need to wait for a response, is what someone else says. Mike Kelly, question, what % of your total listings do you think should have watchers based on my model? That's a good question. I would say, because it's technically you have watchers when you have 1 or when you have 2. When I have 1, is that a watcher or watchers? That's a good question. I would comfortably say that watchers would have to be anywhere between 15 and 20% of your items. That's what I would think right now. But if you have watchers on all your items, you are a really, really, really good reseller. That's very hard to do. And I think as the items get older and you're not messing with them too much in a price sense, or maybe optimizing them somehow, the likelihood of having watchers is very, very slim. somehow maybe bumps you down in the listings or something. But yeah, I usually have watches on nice, fresh, good inventory. But when you start messing with relistings and you're not adjusting the prices very much and it's starting to get this old and almost stale inventory, I find that no watchers look at that. And I don't think it's even because the inventory is stale. It might just be that it's just not at the right price point. I try not to buy bad items, period. All right. 147 viewers in the house, man. I'm curious to see how many likes I got. I didn't even look at the like thing yet because, yeah. So, all right, more questions. Quick question. Do you respond to customers? This is from Hector Munoz. Quick question. Do you respond to customers when they ask, what is the lowest you're willing to go? No. If in that scenario, I've never had that technical actual verbiage, but when customers go, hey, I would be into, I get this every day. If you're willing to do this, I would buy right away. And it's always some price that seems to be 75% of your price, right? So if you're looking at $100 item, for some reason they're if you can take 75 right now, I will totally buy it. So sometimes depends on how I want each day to go, but if I am already at par for the day with profit, then I might not take it, right? But if I'm dude, I would really want to get, if it's noon and I only have 50 in the bank, 50 in pure profit perceived from something that's sold, I might take that $75 one, right? I'm doing anything every single day to get that $100 or more. So it just depends. It depends. Now, the verbiage also has something to do with it. If I feel like someone's being slightly hostile or they're pointing things out about it that they think they know more than I do about the item, which is very few. The cases exist, but when I see that or I see that the verbiage isn't something I like or enjoy with, I just won't deal with the customer, period. So anyways, Joe Molina, I like the way you're doing it. If there's a question, hit them with an offer. Yeah, you can always hit them with an offer, which is cool. They can always message you an offer as well. Yes, they can, and you can counter offer that. Flippin' Bama says, I agree free shipping will get you on best offer, especially when you have to offer it for top rated. Oh, interesting. How much do I flip locally? Just depends. I'd like to have as many local listings as I possibly can. I think it's fun. Every single day. I mean, I spend the afternoons typically in my house. That might change soon, but from the certain hours of, let's say, 1 to 4 or 5. It's about to be 100-degree days here in Austin, Texas. So no one's doing anything between 1 to 5. For the most part, I might go to the pool down the road or something like that, but for the most part, I'm in the vicinity. So if someone wanted something, those would be good times to offer it to them. I could also offer them at the gas station down the street. If it's a really sketchy kind of deal, I could do after traffic hours, but that's very few and far between. Typically, you have to be hustling really weird items to get really weird people. So yeah, I try to put as many local things as possible. I think it's fun. And it doesn't take any of my time. Most people are it takes your time. No, it doesn't really, because I tell them, text me when you're close or 5 minutes away. I always say, text me when you're close or 5 minutes away. I might be at a neighbor's house, which is a total lie. But it allows you to get that 5-minute text heads up. So, you just get everything in order. Boom, item shown, cash in hand, done. So that's it. That's how I do it. Joe Molina, did Mike the Mailman come up on any Cheddar this weekend? No, he's there. Mike the Mailman isn't a reseller, but he is very much curious on how I do it. He sees me nearly every single day, and he wants to learn kind of how to do it. So I offered to train my own mailman on how to do things for eBay and what to source from garage sales and things like that. So I might get a couple other mailmen and maybe one mail woman also on a ride along, because they're all very curious about going too. So this is the thing, when people have jobs, whether it be corporate or, just to say, anytime you say job, it's kind of implied corporate. But most people in this day and age are doing something on the side. I don't care what it is. Some people are doing, Rodan and Fields. Some people are doing Isogenics, Avon, whatever these things are. But there's always something side project that they're working on, or some people are doing YouTube channels. Almost everybody is interested in some sort of a side venture or something. Maybe putting your money in a restaurant startup. No one really likes corporate America unless you are the person that owns the corporation. Most people hate it. So For the benefits, and if you have a family, I get it somewhat, but most people daydream about themselves and their own capabilities, but they sell themselves short in a way that they don't really try that hard. So I think that's important. I think, there's never been a time in America or in the world where being an entrepreneur is actually a cool thing. Like now it is. Like now is one of those times like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. Damn, what do you do? Or you're a business owner. What do you do? Like people want to know, even if you don't make bukus of money, it's really good to say that now, And the days of 20 years working at a company or 30 years now is sketchy at best. I mean, companies are running lean. The next recession or any kind of weird presidential thing can just ruin the stock market at any given time. There's all kinds of things that can happen. So the guaranteed things of 20 and 25 year, 10 years or 30 years with retirement pay, that stuff is getting very, very, very hard to find. So a lot of people are chasing just their loves and their dreams, and reselling is in the blood of a lot of people out there. Buying and reselling has been going on for hundreds of years. And today it's easier than ever with these tools. So anyways, Clearance Ninja says pensions are long gone. Yeah, so side job is like Uber and Lyft driver. Oh, so someone's suggesting that my side job is Uber or Lyft. I've heard a lot of weird things about Uber and Lyft, and if you look at some YouTube videos, they break it down to where they show you how, in the end, like Uber and Lyft barely exceeds minimum wage. Now, maybe I've just watched one out of, the worst video out of all of them. I don't know, but I don't know. The Thriller Gorilla Picker says the best thing is that anybody can do this. It's not hard. You're right. It's not hard. But I think a lot of people spin wheels pretty quickly doing this job. I hate saying that. Okay, so like people spin their wheels trying to understand it because they're so attached to what they believe has good resale as opposed to what really has a market. And I think that's one of the big problems with many people in resale groups, including my own. Like I see people that are trying to buy stuff that they're like, this is cool and it's amazing, and it could be a bag, for example. Like, this is a cool bag, isn't it? And I'm like, did you check the market? Very, very important. Check the market. And if the market doesn't show you that it's a good bag, then it doesn't matter what you think. It does not matter for the most part. So the market dictates what something is bought, what something sells for, not you. Okay. All right. Let's get a couple more things. I haven't already done with this part. Melissa Francis, what percentage of the local sales Craig's offer up? Okay, so let's just say I do Craigslist. I don't do offer up or let go. My brother, actually, when he does cross listing, he does it on eBay. Okay, no, I'll take it back. When he does a local listing, he'll do a Craigslist offer up and let go. And he's really fast at it. He does it through his phone. That's just what he likes to do. It's all good. What's another question real quick? There's a Toomey bag at the thrift store today for $99.99. Very crazy. Yeah. But equally as crazy is the fact that there was a Toomey bag at a thrift store last week for probably $10. I had some wear and tear. I didn't pick it up. There was a Toomey bag at a garage sale this past weekend for $40. And I forgot what was wrong with it. I don't know if it smelled okay. There was something weird about it. And I was just like, I don't know. I just wasn't about it. So I passed on a Toomey bag. But I did buy a motorcycle helmet from that one. That was a score. What else? There are a ton of local ways that you can move stuff. So yeah, offer up, let go. I heard 5 miles pretty cool, but offer up, let go, Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist. Those are the main ones. Craigslist, I think, is just amazing, period. It's always been amazing. I think it's great. The STE Green Adventure. What is the difference between Uber and a regular taxi service? All right, so Uber is basically putting the ride sharing, it's a ride sharing program. Essentially, somebody that has a car that doesn't have, you can still have a professional job and still be an Uber driver, but basically you can log in, from what I understand, for X amount of hours, and you can drive your own car around a prescribed kind of place and pick people up and bring them wherever they want to go and get paid for that. That's essentially what that is. It's not, as opposed to a taxi cab service, I want to say you lease or you rent the cab from a company, and then you give a portion of what you make to the company, all that kind of stuff. It's really weird. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything, but I know that the Uber and Lyfting is more of a ride sharing thing. So you're sharing your ride with other people, and you're still on the hook for your own maintenance. I don't know how business taxes go or whatever, but someone please answer that question right there for him, because it's not something that I ever wanted to do. I've had friends that do it, but that's nothing I've ever wanted to do, honestly. What do I think about van life? It's from Knows, Knows Picker. I'm probably going to eventually do it one day, honestly. I think it's cool. I don't need very many things to have a really good time. I need a surfboard, a mountain bike, and man, the USA and an open road. I think I can hack it pretty good. So that plus a wife that cares about the same stuff, if not a kiddo, hopefully that can like tag along. So we'll see. You know, I do want to do van life one day, but I would not do van life without a mountain bike or a surfboard. I think it would just I don't like sightseeing. I mean, I like it, but I don't want it to be my primary thing. So yeah. All right. Any more questions? Here we go. Inventory. Gina R. Inventory question. How do you organize once it's packaged? So I have a general area in my garage where it has shoes and boots. The boots are typically on top of the shoes because the shoes are typically in USPS shoe boxes, which are very easily to stack. They're very easy to stack on each other, very easy to write on and all that kind of stuff. The boots are going to be in a little bit larger boxes, sometimes 16 by 15 by 8s, I want to say, are the boxes that I use for most boots. And those are going to be stacked on top. Sometimes they're this way, sometimes they're this way. It just depends. And yeah, that's where those will be. And then I have a section for first class and much smaller, typically in polybag stuff, in the middle of the left side of my garage. And it's usually in bins. And on top of the bins are boxes that are very small, that are first class boxes. So it might be something as simple as, oh, I don't know, like a smartwatch or something like that. Maybe I don't want to put a smartwatch, for example, in a bubble mailer because it could get crushed. I don't know. I don't want the LCD display or whatever, the retina display to get smashed or whatever. So I put those in a box, but still when you weigh it, it's like less than 16 ounces. So I have a section for those kind of boxes. And then there's an overall section for anything else that's big, whether it be a tennis racket, something longer than normal, board game, other random things that I might resell will be there. Now, really heavy, bigger things such as stuffed plush or bigger things, just bigger things, suitcases, garment bags, that'll be closer to the floor and not so much on a shelf. It'll be on the floor, which I don't like that part. That's the part I really am like, that sucks, because when I have to open my tool boxes or shed things or whatever, it's like in the way. I don't like that. So I do have to remedy that one day, but it's not a huge issue now. It just sucks when I have to get something on the fly, whether it be a set of pedals for a bike or something, or some hand grips. Those things are blocked by some boxes, and I don't like that. Okay, so Nevermore Antique. Do a lifestyle channel, a travel channel coupled with reselling. Look, this channel, and you guys know it from the get-go, has been not 100% about reselling. There's other stuff when I go on vacations. I can take you guys with me sometimes, but it's basically morphing into what the lifestyle that reselling has allowed me to have. And I think that's really, really important, because most people don't see the bigger picture. They don't understand how amazing reselling can be in your life in so many different ways. But the two primary ways is it can help you pay whatever bills that you want. And the second way is it can help you save a lot of money by showing you what the realistic value of goods are in the USA. So a perfect example of that is like, hey, I need some new jeans, mommy. Oh, that's great. Hold on for real quick. Why don't we go to garage sales, young kiddo, for the next 2 or 3 weeks and see if we can find some jeans see if we can find some jeans there or something for your school. Cool. Now, instead of spending $20 or $30 for some designer jeans, you've brought them to the garage sales and they've found some for $1 or $2, and you've taken that money you would have spent, and now you can do other things with it, right? So the money goes further in a sense that if you have the patience to not buy full price goods, you're almost guaranteed to find this stuff in garage sales. As long as you're sourcing from decent neighborhoods that have people that had good disposable income that knew quality items, you're going to find really, really good stuff. So, and one step from that would be going to a thrift store, right? The last possible thing to do would be to go to the mall and buy something full price, brand new, Even if it's on sale, I don't care. Like, sales are a joke. Like, you go to any mall, every freaking store will say sale. It's the most overused, ridiculous word in the world. It's so abused, it's ridiculous. So sale is just, how do I say it? It's like the high fructose corn syrup of America, right? Sale is just too abused. Everyone, it's just desensitizes everybody. Is that how I say it? Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. So yeah, hold out. Don't go to the mall, even if something's on sale. If someone's like, "What is it's 40% off? I have to get it." Like, look, 40% off means it didn't sell at 30% off, right? And the next thing after 40% off, it'll be 50 and then 70 one day. And if it still doesn't sell, that's really bad stuff. So just remember that. Hold out for some good stuff. There's great used items out there, guys. Great used items. You don't have to break the bank, and you take the rest of the money, put it to a fund, go on vacation, have real experiences in your life, you know? Don't tie up your money in stupid new goods. All right. Thriller Gorilla Picka, the things that teens wear today would have gotten my butt kicked when I was that age. I'm telling you, man, the average, Yeezy shoe, real Yeezys, $200 to $400, bathing ape clothing or white clothing, things like that, just $100 or more a shirt. It's crazy, man, because they just want to look fresh. It's crazy. It's crazy. It blows my mind. Thriller Gorilla Pickup says, yeah, they put it on sale after they mark it up 75%. Yeah, and good case in point is like, look at Toys R Us going out of business. It's still pretty pathetic. So kind of just shows you like the realistic value of goods will put people in bankruptcy, essentially, you know, because people are smart these days. They're just getting smart. Fireside One says, hey, your Moab videos were epic. Yeah, I took you guys last year. I went to was it last year or the year before? I think last year I did Sedona, California, Sedona, and Durango, Colorado, and I mountain biked and had fun, whatever. I videoed the whole thing and I put it on my Bonafide Hustler channel, and it's cool stuff. And so that was just something that hustling had allowed me to do. It was something as amazing as a Southwest part of the country trip with my mountain bike. So I liked it, and my wife. So that was even better. Good question from Alan Wong. Do you have a harder time sourcing in the winter when there are less garage sales? This is so in Austin, Texas, we have garage sales year round, but in the wintertime, they do get kind of thin. But you have to understand in Austin, Texas, that it typically really doesn't get lower than 40 degrees, typically, ever. It will never get usually higher than 100. It does, but like very few days. So, you know, you're dealing with 40 to 100. That's a tank top weather, shorts versus a down jacket and some jeans. That's the spread, right? So you can still host a great garage sale in 40-degree weather. And I've been garage selling at 32 degrees or 35 and still seeing great garage sales. Sometimes I switch it up a little bit to estate sale mode, but not that much. Thrift stores are still really good during the winter time. So I don't let things like that kind of scare me. You know, winter is just temperature based, right? There are plenty of people in this town that have down jackets that still throw great garage sales, and I'm out there cranking away. Me and my brother, you know, a hot coffee is all good. Okay, Mike Z is riding in Sedona Thursday. Oh man, I'm so envious. Go to the Slim Shady Trail. I like that one a lot. That was really good. There's one above Slim Shady, which is even better though, I heard. I forgot what it's called though. Maybe Phil. That's not Phil's World. That's in Cortez. Anyway, I don't know where it is. It's something above Slim Shady, but you have to be on the Bell Rock thing to get to it. Chris, have I ever wanted a tattoo? Thought about it, but if I did, it would be something here or the whole arm. I don't know, something like that. We'll see. But it doesn't bug me enough to like get one. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. We're at 135 members, guys. I haven't checked my likes, but I'm gonna check, and you guys are gonna be in trouble if I'm not at 100 likes or more. All you guys are in trouble, all right? Because you sat here, got all this free information. You can move your finger and hit the like button for me. I know you can. So I got to get out of here. I'm gonna rig up my mountain bike. I'm gonna go riding right now. But I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow I'm gonna do a hot shot. I'm gonna film the whole thing. I'm gonna start early in the morning when I do my workout. And God, my day tomorrow is gonna be kind of weird. I have to work out early in the morning. I have to come back to my house. Someone's gonna look at a stereo system thing on my boat, and then troubleshoot a stereo thing. And then I'm gonna do the hot shot at some point. So yeah, I'll still do a hot shot. It's going to be a good hot shot too. I'm pumped up. The Tuesdays are really good in this town. And then should be good. And I have a garage sale right along, sitting in YouTube that hasn't been public yet, but it's sitting there. So I tell you what, I'll make you a deal right now. When this video hits 300, all right, 300 likes, it's going to take a while. When it hits 300 likes, I'll release that garage sale video. It's sitting in my feed. It's just not public. So let me know. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I hope you got the tips down and you're going to make a better eBay business out of this. Remember all the things I taught you guys, and I'll see you on the next hustler video on my channel. Take it easy, guys, and thank you for the super chats for all the people that did it.